Now in this video we're going to be talking about the modifications we've made to the SEN charts. And the easiest way to describe this to you is to first of all take a look at the indicator strings themselves. Now here's the APZ2 indicator, and we have available strings 1 through strings 54. However, we're only using strings 1 through 42, but the spread is still all the way up to over 500,000. But now look at the spread. Other than the first 6 strings, which are standard for strings 1 through 6, look at what we've done here. We've gone to a 2580, 4180, 6760, 10950, 17710, 28650. All right. Now those are the tick bar intervals. But you'll notice that the string symbols change here. Now it's not just 2580, but it's a 2582, 2580 with a 2 extension. And then over here we start over with a 3 extension. What are we doing? Why are we doing it? Okay. Now the same thing applies over here. Starting at string 25, we now go forward to 46,368 all the way up to 514,230. Now where did we come up with these numbers is basically using a Fibonacci formula, roughly speaking. It's not exact Fibonacci, but it's very, very close. All right? So those are the strings, the tick bar intervals, but what's the purpose of these extensions, 2 and 3? Now to explain that, we're going to go back to the SEN charts. And we'll take a look at this first chart here. Now notice the string here. This happens to be a 2582. That string has a different MACD length. Here's your fast, slow, and MACD length, 24, 36, and 18. Let me explain it to you this way. All right, let's start off with this. Where there is no extension, the MACD setting is 12, 26, 9. That's standard. Number 2, the 2 extension is a 24, 36, 18. And the number 3 extension is a 36, 60, 27. So that's the reason for the extensions. We've placed a different MACD length associated with the different extension. A number 3 is always going to be a 36, 60, 27 MACD length. A number 2 extension is always going to be a 24, 36, 18. And when there is no extension, it's always set to 12, 26, and 9. All right? That's what we're doing. So because of the difference in the setting of the MACD, we're going to produce different results. So here's your 2450. On this is your 4180. Here, it's your 6760. Here, it's your 10,950. and so on down the line. So this is basically strings 1 through 6. This is string, in the second grouping. All right, the second grouping of 6 charts uses this, number 3, this, 4, 5, and 6. And with this group here, we start at our higher numbers, 46, 36, 80, and this goes all the way up to 512, or pardon me, 514, 230. Okay? So that's how the SEN charts are organized, and why we have a different extension for some of these numbers, because we're calculating the MACD slightly differently with different lengths. And that's producing our group reversals with a smaller number of charts. That was our goal. Reduce the number of charts in the tick strategy workspace. But in order to do that, we actually had to create a few more charts, potentially more charts, with in the SEN chart workspace. Now there's a separate workspace for our market internals. This is the Send Auxiliary, where we're going to be plotting bank, the ADS-PD, the premium ESINX, the VIX, as well as the tick. So we have separate workspaces so that you don't have as hard of a time navigating. Really, you could put these all into the same workspace if you wanted to. That'd be entirely up to you. But that's the way we have it set up at the moment. If you want to copy these and put them in the same chart, or same workspace, that's entirely up to you. All right, these are pretty much the old standard approaches. Okay, nothing out of the ordinary here. So now when we go back to the tick strategy workspace, this remains your number 1 chart. This chart here, okay, notice what we're tracking. Group 2 would start here and end here. And group 2 is based upon this spread from 2580 all the way up to 28650, using a 1226 and 9 MACD length. Group 3, on the other hand, starts here, ends here, but uses a different MACD length. And then group 4, same tick bar intervals as the previous group, but a different MACD length. Group 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then over here, this simply is your old chart 10, where we're tracking our divergence. Here we're tracking the premium in relationship to linear regression. And over here, I happen to like to keep tabs on the VIX, whether it's going up or down. I can see it nicely just by looking at this chart. If you don't want it there, just minimize it, reformat the workspace. So that's how we've got our SEN charts and the tick strategy workspace are now organized just a little bit differently than they were before, but we've reduced the number of charts on the workspace itself. So that's the new adjustment.